Right, I said on my LinkedIn post yesterday I'll do a quick video. I can't stop myself doing them, right? So ChatGPT OpenAI is now available as a connector within Patchworks. So if I go into my connectors and instances, you'll see down here amongst a bunch of other connectors, OpenAI is in there, and I've got my own account, right? It's bear a token, set it up, and off you go. Right, how can I use it? There's a good idea. So why don't we go into a process flow and just to show how easy it is to do it. So I'm going to call it test OpenAI for Nov and create flow. So this is how you create process flows in the latest Patchworks versions. You can see here trigger every hour. So if we actually set up and run this, it would run every hour. You can change that, of course. You can come in and change the schedule, or you can run it from a webhook. So we can listen for a webhook and on an event go off and do something. So for now, I'm just going to call ChatGPT with a payload. So I'm going to take the API standard that you need and pass it in there. And I'm asking the question, how can I use ChatGPT or ChatPT in that case, I'll change that to a G, for e-commerce product content? Just get some ideas from that itself. Why not? None of us have to think for ourselves anymore. Right, connector, choose the OpenAI one. Go into here and I'll choose create chat completion. Bunch of different things you can change on there. Timeout for it, for instance, could be useful actually, because ChatGPT can take a while if it's asking for a lot. This is a big question, but let's save that and then let's just run it and see what happens. Thinking away. Hopefully not actually thinking, but you know, it won't be long. So if I click on this, as you can see, as you go through, you get the little ticks. I mean, obviously that one went straight away. If I look at this one, click on the little tick, you can see the request that was sent across, the response, which is 200, and the payload that came back has come back with a bunch of extra content, right? To use ChatGPT for e-commerce product content, blah, 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 you can follow these steps, and there's a bunch of stuff in there, which is great. So I used that. I put this together on the train up to London to the Applied Digital E2X drinks in the week. And what I did when I got there was talk to Bruce from Pimberley, one of our partners, and say, well, here's a great example. You can use ChatGPT for product content translation. Okay, so what I've done is I've put together a quick flow with Pimberley at the front, a mapping that effectively maps a question across. So in this case, the question, you can see where the mapping is coming from the content here. If I click on the transform, I've basically said, take this and translate it to French. Okay. It'll run it through OpenAI to go and do that translation, take that data back, and then update the product in Pimberley. Okay, so Pimberley has a number of different. In fact, I'll go and show you in there. Let's go and pick a product. That's the easiest way to do it. Let's go and find, say, this one. It's going to be some. This is the Pimberley Sandbox. Pimberley is a PIM system, part of the Mac Alliance, like we are, and it's all about effectively getting product attribution and product attributes correct. So this is an Eco Solutions chisel tip permanent marker pen. Fantastic. I've always wanted one of those. And you can see we've got a master copy there with some stuff in it, primary copy there. And in terms of, you know, multi-language, this is default. If I look at France, there's nothing in there and there's nothing in the primary copy. Okay, so I'm gonna close that one. But before I do, I will grab that product ID. Let's do that. And then go back into here. So what I've done is I've set up a flow variable. So in a real flow, I mean, why am I doing this? Well, it actually could be really useful, right? If you are looking at selling internationally with, say, the new BigCommerce multi-storefront with multi-language, or Shopify Markets, or Shopline, or Commerce Tools, or Shopware, or one of the many other connectors that you have on our platform, that's great, right? You've now got the technical capability to do it. But I've always said, you know, tech, we build the buckets, but you've got to fill those buckets with data. So a way of doing that is to take your existing language product catalog, I say language because it might not be English, and translate it into the other languages. So in this case, we're going to do it for one product, but this could be, go and get all the products in Pimberley, iterate over them using our flow control shape, you know, which we have in here ultimately, call ChatGPT for each of them, and then load them back in for each of those individual products. So it wouldn't take a lot to change this flow to do that. What I have done though is I've set up a flow control variable in here for product ID, and so you saw me, I just copied that product ID from Pimberley. So if I do update and save, and I'm just going to run that flow again. And I suspect that ChatGPT will be a bit quicker to do a translation. So there we go. It's gone all the way through. It's updated it in Pimbly once more. So if we go back in, if I can remember what that product ID was, that would be useful, wouldn't it? Live-ish demos. I'm not going to bother editing it for obvious reasons. What was it? It was 9253. So let's go back up to there. No, do you know what? Why don't I just search for it in Pimbly? That'd be much easier, wouldn't it? So Patchworks is really easy to use, but this is me not being such a great demo person, but that's good too. Copy that, go there, search, find it, off we go. Now if I go into there, if I change it to French, look in descriptions, under primary, there we are. So that could have been the entire product catalogue. And it's just a great example of what you can do with OpenAI now. That could be take a short description and write me long descriptions. It could be check for plagiarism on the web, as per our article, which you'll find linked below. Anyway, I hope that was useful. I'll try to keep it short, and have a great weekend, everybody.